Hello. Today I'll be talking about the UH-60 drivetrain and associated systems. Well, to start off, what is the Black Hawk? It is a medium-lift utility military helicopter. Some facts about the UH-60 are its first flight was in 1974, introduced in 1979. It's made by Sikorsky Aircraft Company, and there's been 5,000 built since 2023. Well, as of 2023. It's used by many nations, including the US, Japan, Korea, and more. It's used all over the globe. You can get the UH-60 in many varieties, including the SH-60 Seahawk, which is used by the Navy, the HH-60 Pavehawk, which is used by the United States Air Force, and the MH-60 Jayhawk, which is used by the Coast Guard. Well, we'll first start off with the UH-60 drivetrain, because that's what we'll be covering today. Some components of the drivetrain consist of the rotor system, the transmission, the gearbox, and the accessory modules. To start off, the drivetrain is powered by two General Electric T700s. They make 1,600 shaft horsepower each. We'll start off with the transmission system. The transmission system is responsible for carrying engine torque to the main rotors and tail rotor. The transmission consists of 5 modules, and these include one main module, and this provides speed reduction from the input module to the main rotor and tail-driven shaft. 2 input modules, they connect the main modules to the engine, and 2 accessory modules. These contain rotor speed sensors and low oil pressure switches. To continue on the transmission has monitoring systems. These systems have oil pressure and oil temperature indicators. This will include indicators on the caution/advisory panel that will warn the pilot when oil pressure is low and oil temperature is high. The transmission system also has in each module a chip detector. A chip detector detects metal particles in the modules. Also, the transmission can operate for 30 minutes with no oil before failure. The recommendation for this is to land before the 30 minutes is up. Next, we're on to the rotor system. The UH-60 rotor system consists of 4 main blades, 4 tail blades, a hub flight control, and a vibration absorber. The main rotor spins at 258 RPMs, and this is at 100% throttle. The tail rotor spins at 1,190 RPMs. The blade consists of a leading edge made of titanium abrasion strips and a trailing edge made of a combination of graphite and fiberglass. Also, to add on to the main rotor spin, they take that down from 20,000 RPMs from the engines down to 258 RPMs in the main rotor. Also, the UH rotors can be folded at the hub. This is for better storage and for a small profile for shipping on ships, aircraft, etc. Now we're on to the gearbox of the UH-60. The UH-60 gearbox comprises of 2 gearboxes, the intermediate gearbox and the tail rotor gearbox. The intermediate gearbox gets driven by a tail drive shaft from the transmission. The intermediate gearbox reduction is 4,116 RPMs from the tail drive shaft down to 3,319 RPMs after reduction. The tail rotor gearbox reduction is 3,319 RPMs from the intermediate gearbox down to 1,190 RPMs after reduction. To continue with the gearbox, here's some nice diagrams of the gearbox. The UH-60 intermediate gearbox and tail gearbox is equipped with a chip detector in both gearboxes, an oil temperature sensor in both. This sensor is tripped at 140 degrees Celsius. The UH-60 tail gearbox can run up to 30 minutes without oil, and then this will lead to failure. Also, the recommendation for this is to land. In the event of a UH-60 tail rotor cable failure, the The tail rotor will default to a 10.5 degrees. This will be useful for attaining about 25 to 145 knots, depending on the weight of the Black Hawk. Onto the accessory modules. The purpose of the accessory module is to lubricate and drive the accessories installed. The UH-60 accessory modules drive the electrical generators and the hydraulic pumps. Both contain chip detectors to monitor for loose metals in the oil. Activation of the low oil enunciator occurs at 14 psi. The UH-60 accessories modules are powered by a bevel gear from the input module. The accessory module is mounted on the front of the input module. So what we've learned here today is about the rotor system, the transmission, the gearbox, and the accessory modules. Here's my citation page. That is it. Thank you.